I'm Benjamin Chambers, and I edit the Reclaiming Futures blog, and with me today is Diana Onley-Campbell. She is program manager for the Youth Justice Leadership Institute, which is a project of the National Juvenile Justice Network. Thanks for being with me.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me about this Leadership Institute. What's going on? Why are you doing it?
Well, the Leadership Institute is a new project of the network, and the premise behind it is that efforts to reform juvenile justice in our country are going along, and that's great, but there's a little void in terms of leadership, and we need to see represented more of the people who are directly affected by the system. So that would include youth and adults who, as youth, were involved in the system, family members of those youth, and professionals from communities of color. So the idea is to try to fill that void as effectively as we can. And so we've been working over the last few months to really design the program so that people will get the absolute most out of their year of involvement. So it's a very intense program, and one that we feel really good about and think it will give a boost to reform efforts that wouldn't be possible otherwise.
So who do you want to be participants in this?
Our target folks, again, are family members of youth who are involved with the juvenile justice system, adults who were involved themselves, and professionals out of the communities of color that are most affected. So we're really looking for folks from those communities, from those constituencies that want to step up and fill those leadership positions.
That's great. So once they do this, and what happens next? And what I guess if I were in a local jurisdiction, actually let me ask a different question. If I were in a local jurisdiction, how can I be helpful? I mean, how can I participate or get, could I help you get participants? What could I do?
Well, to be most helpful, you could look at yourself and say, hey, that's me. I'm that person. How do I apply? So that's the first thing. But you could, if you're not that person, if it's not you, but you're doing this work, you probably know that person. You may even know more than one. So the way to help would be to let folks know that we're doing this. We will be actively recruiting, after the new year, and so really direct people to our website for the information, for the application packets. All of that's going to be really helpful to us.
Okay, great. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, just that it's important that people really do understand that this void in leadership is a hindrance to the work that they're doing. If you're out there in the trenches and you're trying to bring these reforms to fruition, and absent are those folks that we're targeting, your efforts are going to be hindered. If you want to be successful, have those folks be successful, and you just will be amazed at the benefit.
Diana, a lot of jurisdictions have wanted to include both family members and those who are most affected, as you said, in the justice system, in there at the policy level and planning, and maybe in advocacy, somewhere, and for various reasons, that's hard for the people in the systems that don't have time to do it, for it to work out, and so forth. So I think this is a great initiative that you're kind of building that capacity, that leadership capacity. Is there any advice you give to local jurisdictions about once you have this, you've built this group of leaders, how can they, make the sort of involved in the best way in their own local efforts?
Oh, I see. Well, a great deal of leadership sustainability, not just even development, but leadership sustainability, has to do with relationships. So where those jurisdictions are so fortunate as to have those folks involved, be sure that you are nurturing your relationships with them. And the best way to do that, of course, is through communicating, and communicating with compassion and affection and understanding. All of those things, I think, go a long way to helping people sustain themselves as leaders, regardless of, you know, where they're coming from. So I would say to have folks really focus in on the relationships that they have with new and emerging leaders.
Okay. All right. Well, again, thank you very much.
Thank you. I was happy to do it.